It is time for some Ozarks Fox feedback. Now, Kelly, on Tuesdays, you know how we love to do some cooking, but we need to get the viewers' opinions.
Yeah.
We don't want to do it on our own. We want to make it the way you would want to make it.
That's right.
And a couple weeks ago, we didn't get to it. So what about salads? Isn't that a healthy alternative?
I love salads.
And there's a billion different kinds of salads.
You know, when you think about it, there really are.
I mean, when you really sit down and think about it, we got some of your responses on your favorite toppings, but afterwards, Kelly, they're leaving out one crucial one. Nobody mentioned this one salad that I'll mention, okay? Let's take a look at our first comment. We have Kelly, who said lettuce, eggs, cucumbers, shredded cheese, beets, and fat-free French dressing. I put this one because I like the emojis, and beets reminds me my grandma used to put beets on her salad.
I like beets. I like pickled beets.
Oh, pickled beets are better, I think.
They're very good.
Yeah, so I kind of like the beets idea.
I would eat that.
All right, thanks, Kelly. Up next, we have Karen, who said lettuce, strawberries, almonds, goat cheese, cranberries, and blueberries.
Yes.
That is heaven to me.
I would do that for sure.
I would totally eat that one. Thanks, Karen. Up next, we have Tammy, who said tomatoes, radishes, olives, mozzarella, shredded cheese. Can I say, as a child, I hated radishes. My grandma would always put them in salads.
Do you like it now?
I do a really good fried radish now that I really like.
Oh, gosh. We ate radishes a lot growing up, so we had them in salads a lot. So I kind of like them.
Yeah, I grew them in the garden, but I do like the fried ones. Thanks, Tammy. Up next, we have Megan, who said spinach leaves, feta, pecans, mandarin oranges, blueberries, and a raspberry vinaigrette.
Okay, that sounds good. And I like a little bit of spinach mixed in, but I don't like to do a whole spinach salad. You know what I mean?
Oh, I don't mind it if I can cut it into bite-sized pieces, because a big spinach leaf is a little bit too big. But baby spinach.
Baby spinach is good.
That's it.
Yes.
Okay. Next, we have Linda, who says chow mein noodles, cheese, tomato, cucumber, shredded carrots. I think that's a unique take.
I would definitely try that. I like a little crunch with my salad.
I'm saying that's a contender, Linda, right there. I love that.
Contender, Linda.
And then I had to put this one in because Bruce cracked me up, Kelly. Get ready for this. Cracked me up. Arrange the lettuce, radishes, sliced boiled eggs, tomatoes, and green onions on a plate. Fry a pound of bacon. Remember that life is short. Dump the plate of lettuce and assorted veggies into the trash and enjoy the bacon.
I had bacon for breakfast Saturday morning. Yes,
there you go.
I sure did.
I love that everyone gave us such great ideas, but here's another thing I put. Well, there's more, because there's a different salad. Nobody on that one mentioned taco salad.
Taco salad's one of my favorites.
Taco salad's my favorite. Potato salad. Chicken salad.
Well,
think of all the salads.
I think when we're talking salad, maybe people were just thinking lettuce salads.
Correct. But then my brain started turning. And then guess what else I thought of, Kel?
What?
I was in the room with our producers, Jake and Gage, and we were talking about the vintage Jello salads.
Oh, my grandmother used to fix those. We really never made those too much at home.
Did you make fruit Jello salads or savory Jello salads?
No, we made fruit ones. And I like those, minus the marshmallows.
Oh, they do tend to have marshmallows. Yeah. We decided to get some feedback on some vintage Jello. Take a look at these. So there's one that has shrimp, eggs, and peas.
Okay.
And one that just has vegetables. See this right here? Yeah.
Oh.
You got some veggies?
Is that Jello?
That's Jello.
Oh, my goodness.
Jello molds. These are vintage from like the 60s.
Well, that's real pretty. I've never seen such a thing.
It's unique.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at what some of our viewers thought about these. Up first, we have Trish, who said shrimp, egg, and pea. She actually said she would eat it.
So that's with a sweet Jello?
No, it's with non-flavored.
Gelatin.
Non-flavored.
Okay,
yep,
gotcha.
Absolutely. Yeah, that would be weird.
Well, that's what I was thinking. All right.
Thanks, Trish. Up next, we have Jennifer, who said, I can't wrap my head around either one of those. Pass.
And I'm wondering if most people, when they think of Jello, think of the sweet Jello, and maybe that's why they don't. And I'm with them. Those two things together.
That's why we posted, because it was so unique. You would not believe all the images we found of vintage 60s Jello salads. Well,
they have those pretty molds, and people use those a lot back then.
There was one I didn't put up. It had SpaghettiOs and hot dogs in it.
Oh, whoa!
Okay, thanks, Jennifer. Up next. Amanda said, they both truthfully look nasty. I stopped at the word Jello. Yeah. Well, to each their own. It's a texture thing, too. I'm not going to lie. There's a texture to Jello that some people
don't like. The
don't
little
enjoy.
graininess sometimes.
Oh, it's kind of making me nauseous a little bit, too. Okay, thanks, Amanda. And then we also have Donna who said, I'm not doing it. Jello is a brightly colored dessert with fruit, not a clear carrier for cold vegetables and meat.
I have to agree. I really have to agree.
Donna, how do you really feel?
But you know, people sometimes drink gelatin for their nails and their hair because it helps it to grow. I imagine it's the B vitamins, I'm assuming, but anyway, gelatin.
Well, then you could get your fill with a Jello mold.
Okay.
There you go. And finally, Sandy said, I had to put this one in here. Both are good choices.
Oh, I think they're pretty, but I don't really want to eat them.
Sandy, are you saying you would eat both of these? Because I know for sure, when I was researching, there were cookbooks dedicated to these types of Jello salads in the 60s.
Yeah.
Like, people would seriously buy the cookbooks, and these would be at dinner parties.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine. The one I'm thinking of my grandma made, it's not in a mold, but it's like Jello salad that's like a whipped with marshmallows.
Right,
and
yes.
It's more creamy, not set in a mold.
I got you.
Also, fun fact, Kel.
Okay.
People used to decorate their kitchens with Jello molds.
Oh, yeah, they did.
They would hang the tin, they'd have the copper ones, or like the Golden Girls.
Do you even have a Jello mold? I don't either. I don't either.
No.
I know. It's kind of gone out of style.
And it's not to say I don't enjoy Jello.
Yeah.
It makes me think of hospitals for
what
some
else
reason.
could we make in a Jello mold? That's something to think about.
Well, I wonder if you could, well, it'd have to be oven safe. You could do a cake and make a beautifully shaped cake.
Yeah, I wonder, can you put those in the oven? Is that it?
Oh, that's it, yeah, that's all for that.
I wonder if you can put those in the oven.
I don't know.
Well,
because could you, I'm just saying this, could you use a bundt pan for a Jello mold and vice versa?
I don't know. But if you could get the mold of the cake, that would be beautiful.
Because
maybe we should try it.
I mean, they had a lot of crazy shapes back in the day. There's one I remember, which had to have been for a savory one. It's the shape of a lobster, is the Jello mold.
Okay, so when you're saying savory, this is savory, obviously.
Definitely savory, yeah.
Okay, when I think of Jello, I think of definitely a sweet Jello. And did you ever do this? Did you ever just like mix hot water and then just drink it?
No.
In the Jello, because it's sweet.
No, I've never tried that.
It's like a little dessert.
You know what I thought you were going to say?
What?
Is you dyed your hair with it. I said, because you know how that stain when you get on your fingers,
it stains like your fingers. Halloween or something?
Yeah.
No.
I was like, I wonder if girls ever dyed their hair with Jello, like the powder in the water.
They may have. That would
but
be
you're saying it's good to drink, just like a hot drink?
I'm saying, like, yeah, if you just get, and it's pretty strong, so you put quite a bit of water in it, but if you just have a little bit, a couple teaspoons hot water, sip it up, and it's real delicious.
Well, I would try that.
Okay, there you go. All right. Well, we're going to be back with so much more after this. Don't go anywhere. Yeah, I don't want to eat
Would you eat one of those? Either one? Would you try it?
I could try it, but I don't want to.
I might throw up afterwards. Just so you know.
I don't really